of official presence on the light rail system as we head into the winter months. Safe and reliable transit is a critical part of a thriving region, and we're pleased to have Metro Transit announce their efforts in making the light rail system safer as we approach the colder months of the season. We know that there is good news on the safety and security front, as both riders and operators are feeling safer on Metro Transit buses and trains than they did a year ago. We believe these changes demonstrate our approach to challenges with clear-eyed and pragmatic vision. This is an exciting time for Metro Transit. Just this year, we've opened the Gold Line and the B Line, which just celebrated its millionth rider, and next month we'll be opening the E Line, which will expand our arterial bus rapid network even more. We believe that the changes being announced today point to a better tomorrow for all who ride as customers and our staff who work on our growing transit network. We are committed to always improving your experience. For further information about this effort, please welcome Metro Transit General Manager Leslie Kinderis.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you, Chair Barber. As the Chair said, my name is Leslie Kinderis. I'm the General Manager at Metro Transit. Appreciate you all being here today and appreciate all our speakers here today as we share the latest progress and next steps in implementing Metro Transit Safety and Security Action Plan. Nothing is more important than providing a safe, clean, and welcoming experience on transit for all riders and all transit employees. We know that in order to build ridership, we need to build confidence that transit is a safe and comfortable way to travel. Today, we are highlighting our work through the Safety and Security Action Plan to increase official presence on our system. We are focusing on official presence because riders tell us that when they see a Metro Transit official on the system, that increases their sense of safety. Official presence is increasing both as we hire more people and as we strengthen coordination across these layers of official presence. The result for riders is they will increasingly see Metro Transit staff on their trip, particularly on our light rail system. Since layers of official presence is such a foundational part of our Safety and Security Action Plan, I want to take a moment to walk through those layers. First, we have our Metro Transit Police Department. Our police officers remain a foundational and essential part of public safety on transit. Their staffing has increased this year. We're going to end 2025 with more officers than we've had the previous couple of years, and hiring efforts continue. Our community service officers, or CSOs, have also increased in staffing, nearly 70% this year compared to where we were last year. Community service officers not only help us increase our presence, but that's building the pipeline for future Metro Transit police officers as well. We also have our Transit Rider Investment Program, or TRIP agents. We first started TRIP agents on the system back in February of 2024. Since last year, we've grown our TRIP agent ranks over 50% and now have over 80 TRIP agents on our system. As we look ahead to 2026, our proposed 2026 budget would allow us to hire about 60 more TRIP agents as well. In addition to those personnel, we have our contracted supplemental security. Earlier this year, the Metropolitan Council approved a new contract with a new vendor for supplemental security, and starting at the end of this month, we'll be able to cover 15 locations, up from the 9 we have today. Additionally, we have partnerships with downtown business communities. With the St. Paul Alliance, we have safety ambassadors at key LRT platforms, light rail platforms in downtown St. Paul. This is continuing in 2026, and we're actively working with the Minneapolis Downtown Improvement District on a similar partnership. I also want to mention that we work closely with community partners. You'll hear more about our homeless action team, how that group of police officers continues to connect riders in need with key services. And in the first quarter of 2026, we're going to bring on additional community-based resources. Ultimately, as we hire more people, as we bring on additional contracted service, and as we improve coordination across all these layers, the result for our riders is they're going to see more officials on board while they're riding and waiting for transit. While each of these layers has a distinct role, together they're all part of how we're responding directly to rider feedback. When they're telling us increased presence increases their sense of safety and comfort on our system. So the expansion and coordination of these layers of presence are a top priority now and as we head into next year. I just want to conclude by recognizing that this work is truly all hands on deck work at Metro Transit. As you can see behind me, it takes a large contingent of staff to make this happen day in and day out. I want to especially thank the support of Chair Barber and her colleagues on the council, our staff from across Metro Transit, our police department, our operations, our public facility staff, our system safety staff, and more, and of course our community partners as well. We know we have more work to do. As a rider, I see that myself, but we feel confident that these additional steps we are taking will continue to move us closer to consistently meeting the expectations of our riders. And now to talk more about the specifics, I'm going to hand it over to Interim Chief of Police, Joe Dotson.
Hello, and thank you, General Manager Canderas. I'm Joe Dotseth. I'm the Interim Chief of Police at Metro Transit. For many, transit is a critical lifeline to work, school, and home every day. Everyone deserves to feel safe on their journey, anytime and anywhere. We've been working hard to improve safety on transit, and we've dedicated beat officers to focus on areas like the Midway in St. Paul, Nicollet Mall in downtown Minneapolis. We relaunched our transit response unit and are hiring record number of staff this year. We partnered with prosecutors to hold criminals accountable and stood alongside service providers to find solutions to our region's most difficult problems. This year, serious crime is down 21% compared to the same time last year, and our proactive work of our police officers is up 129%. Our officers are being more responsive than ever, and if you're committing a crime on transit, you are going to be held accountable. Likewise, if you're on the system and you need help, MTPD is here to help. We're encouraged by the work we've done this last year. Serious crime is down. We're more visible and present than any time that I can recall in my 21 years. With the signs of these progress, we know we still have work to do. Our job is not done until every rider feels safe on every trip. Starting today, in addition to the hard-working trip agents already on the system, riders will see more MTPD officers and community service officers frequently on board the trains. The number of uniformed personnel, including sworn officers, CSO, and trip agents, will vary based upon time and location of day, but we will be especially visible during high traffic periods such as morning and afternoon rush hours and near the end of service. This increase in uniform presence will continue through the colder months. The staff you see here standing today from across Metro Transit is a showcase of our shared commitment to making everyone feel safe on the system. We have been and we will continue to improve conditions on the transit system. Over the last several weeks, as part of our winter operations plan, we've increased presence on both the blue and green line. Thanks to the work of our patrol division, we are creating models of coverage to ensure every train car has official presence, especially during peak ridership times. We are pleased with the initial results of this program. We continue to work with our partners at TRIP and create more consistent models of complete system coverage. This new initiative, our winter safety plan, is part of Metro Transit's commitment to action, which is guided by our Safety and Security Action Plan. The Safety and Security Action Plan is a comprehensive 42-point plan built on the whole community approach to public safety. The SSAP is not just about enforcement, it's about addressing root causes of crime and coming up with new approaches to public safety. Today's event is another example of how we can be innovative and be more responsive to the rider's needs. We're deploying a multi-layer approach as a united Metro Transit team. Let me say that again. We're deploying a multi-layer approach as a united Metro Transit team. Police officers will be on the system, more active for proactive enforcement and holding people accountable. Community service riders will be on the system educating customers on the rider's code of conduct, assisting passengers, and other support services. Security officers will be more visible for consistent presence. Trip agents will be available for information, assistance, and fare compliance. And outreach workers will be connecting people to services. This coordinated approach means we can, we will, and we are improving the rider experience. As winter approaches, we'll be more visible on transit. We will continue to listen to the community and work to make our transit system amongst the best in the country. Our message is clear. Crime will not be tolerated on Metro Transit, and those who commit crimes will be held accountable. But we also recognize some people on our system need help, not handcuffs. And we are committed to connecting those people to the services that they need. In fact, that's what we've been doing over the last year, holding people accountable who act out of line on the system and getting our community's most vulnerable the services that they need. What sets the Metro Transit Police Department apart is simple. We care deeply about the people we serve. We're not just responding to problems, we are working with a whole community approach to public safety. We are embedded in the community, on the front lines, protecting those who ride our transit system and helping the most vulnerable in our society. The transit police believe deeply in a service mindset and know that policing our system is a noble and worthy cause. We want to make a difference and perform our duties with honesty, service, and respect in all we do. For some additional thoughts, I'd like to now welcome representatives from the transit rider community, transit employees, and business community members. For some brief remarks, now please let us welcome Dr. Joe Hobit, the President and CEO of the American OIC.
Mataki wape, hihani la shinwashte, umachi ape elio shunkumana tu tanka se toki ahiae, umachi ape elio Dr. Joe Hobart. Greetings, my relatives. I am Dr. Joe Hobart. I serve as the President and CEO of the American Indian OIC. And our property is located directly next to the Franklin Avenue Light Rail Station. And I am humbled and honored to be able to speak here today about our organization's relationship with Metro Transit Police Department. And really our relationship and the experiences we've had are pointing towards what can be done. Our experience with Metro Transit has been phenomenal. They have not only increased and been present in our community, but they have redefined that presence beyond just law enforcement. They engage and speak with our staff, with our students, with our clients. They have become integrated into our overall community. As a result of that, we have seen a precipitous drop-off in the negative behaviors at that Franklin Avenue Light Rail Station and an increase in the overall feelings of safety for our students, our clients, and our staff. We are deeply grateful for the efforts of the Metro Transit Police Department. We see on a regular daily basis the relatives behind me here show up each day, driven by compassion, guided by their training, and exhibiting a level of professionalism that is really to be followed by other stakeholders. We see what is possible in this relationship, and we see and believe that a further integrated effort between community organizations, Metro Transit Police, and other key stakeholders can build a safe structure for our transit system, including the light rail and the light rail platforms, that will continue to restore a sense of security for our community members here in Minneapolis and throughout the Twin Cities area. So I offer a heartfelt wopalatanka to our relatives in the Metro Transit Police Department, and Lakota for a great thank you for your continued efforts. We are incredibly grateful for the work that you put in. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for allowing me the time here to share these thoughts with you. I can introduce you.
Thanks. Let's see. Make sure this thing is on. Nope. Looks like we got something. Hi, okay. Hello, everybody. My name is David Stiggers. I'm the president of the ATU 1005, the local that we represent all the bus and train operators and clerks and just about anybody who's not management. So I'm honored to be here. And as Dr. Hobart said, thanking the individuals that are behind us is something that we should be doing on a constant basis. These people stepped up to do this work, and this is not easy work in any way, shape, or form. Some of the individuals that are behind me right now used to be bus drivers. And so they know what they were stepping into when they came into this position. So for them, I say, thank you, congratulations. Shamara. And from the train, absolutely. But the reason we are here today is simple. We all want safe transit. We want it safe for our customers, safe for our workers, safe for everybody who rides, serves, and depends on transit each day. Safety isn't just a goal, it's a shared responsibility. And one of the most important aspects of keeping our system safe is teamwork. Teamwork across all of the different agencies that make up our transit family. So as a driver for 16 years, I understand the importance of having a safe transit system, having that presence on our facilities, on our vehicles. Actually, Chief Dotseth came to my rescue many times as I was a bus driver back in the day. So thanks, Chief. Appreciate that. Our frontline transit workers face the public every day. They deal with situations that can shift from calm to critical in a matter of seconds. Their safety and the safety of our riders depends on how well we work together. That's why the partnership between TRIP agents and Metro Transit Police Department is so essential. The TRIP agents have already made their presence known in the community, and you know this because the community has already given them a nickname. Thanks, Jared, told me about this. They're called blueberries. So when people see them, they go, oh, they're the blueberries. They're going to be asking you for your transfer. So they've already made a presence. And that's because they are front and center with the customer base that rides the vehicles in conjunction with Metro Transit Police. There's a level of safety and security that's felt by everyone. And that's the goal, to feel comfortable and safe when you're riding on transit. So when we collaborate, we don't just react to challenges, we prevent them. We build trust, we strengthen communication, and we create an environment where workers feel supported and riders feel respected. Because at the end of the day, safety isn't one person's job, it's everyone's promise. And when we stand together, TRIP, Metro Transit Police, the Met Council, the operators, management, the community, we send a powerful message. We are one, with one mission, safe transit for all. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'd like to introduce Adam Dunnick, President of the Minneapolis Downtown Council.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I just want to join in the chorus of thanking everybody behind me for your service to our community. We wouldn't have a safe community without you. I want to thank Metropolitan Council, Metro Transit Police Department for being such a great partner in so many ways. For our 2035 plan, to both putting the plan together and now working on implementing it. Foundational safety is one of our 4 key strategic focus areas for downtown, and without foundational safety, we're not going to have a safe community. We're not going to have a thriving, upbeat community. I also want to thank Metro Transit for their recent investment in the Beat Police downtown. It makes a huge difference. It's helped in certain parts of downtown, on Hennepin and Nicollet. We already are putting the Downtown Improvement District a significant amount of resources into these parts of the city as well, and to have that partnership here is so crucial. And then lastly, to Leslie's point about the partnership on the platforms, we're really excited about that opportunity as well. We're at about the 5-yard line of getting that done, and once it's put into practice, it's going to continue to enhance the safety ecosystem here downtown. It's no secret that the Downtown Business Council wants employees back in the office. Downtown workers being in the office relies upon a reliable and safe transit network. So we are monitoring all sorts of data all the time, from parking data to transit ridership, and that amount of information, those data points are connected to more people being downtown. That momentum begets more momentum. So the safer that the transit system is, the easier it is and more accessible our employers are to employees, the more likely they are to grow and expand, the more likely they are to call their employees back to the office and continue the momentum that we have seen the last couple of years. And I just want to end by again talking about partnerships. Partnerships are so key. That's how we get to where we've gotten today, and it's how we continue to grow and expand the service that's working so well. The business community is upbeat about both these partnerships and the future of downtown, so thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm going to turn over to Jeremy.
I just want to thank everyone for agreeing to be here today, and now we're going to open up for some questions.
Yeah, so you talk to transit riders, and a lot of them will tell you that they've noticed increased presence on trains. Can you quantify and talk a little bit more about how this will be different from what people are already seeing from a rider perspective?
Can you give this to both?
Great question. The question essentially is how that we're collaborating more to have more presence on the system so people can see that.
I think behind me, when you look at this picture behind me, this is one of those examples. And today we have every available Metro Transit police officer and CSO out on the system.
So riders should almost be seeing some type of official presence on every trip, especially during peak times. So that'll be part of what our winter safety plan is right now, is increasing that presence so our riders see some type of official presence during these peak hours.
I have a question for GM Canderas. I know there was a reporting earlier this year about the $57 million commitment from Metro
this part of that, or is there an additional expenditure of money here to do this?
Yeah, so hopefully you can hear. There we go. I think the $57 million you're referring to is the 3-year contract for supplemental security. So yes, that is one piece of this. And of course, we're continuing to fund our police department and our transit rider investment program as well. But the short answer is yes, correct. Like what we're talking about today, the supplemental security is a key layer in there, and that's what that $57 million contract is for.
And if I could just follow up on one point of the trip agents, because I know you and I have talked about it in the past. Our reporting found your agents not getting a lot of cooperation. What else is being done to try to get people to actually pay their fares?
So the transit rider investment program and the trip agents are out there day in and day out interacting with our customers and inspecting fares. And they're continuing to do that work. We have inspected over 900,000 fares this year. That's roughly triple of what we did in 2024. So they're out there day in, day out, really setting that expectation for riders that paying your fare is a part of riding, but also being assistance in many other ways as well.
Is there any additional consequence if somebody just refuses to give their information or to pay their fare?
There are penalties associated with the administrative citation for fare noncompliance, and those escalate depending on how many offenses you are found to have. So those penalties remain in place.
Can you talk a little bit about ridership trends? Looking at the September numbers, and I know 1 month isn't a trend, but you have blue line numbers going down, green line numbers going up. I think there was some construction on the blue line that month. But do those kind of give us a sense of the bigger picture? How does that fit into what's been going on in terms of ridership?
Sure. So ridership remains a key metric we track, and we believe that continued focus in public safety will continue to build that confidence in transit and ultimately lead to increases in ridership in the long term. In September, you're correct. It's not surprising we would have some drop in blue line ridership because of the full blue line closure for maintenance that started at that end of September, first part of this month. But ultimately, as we continue to invest in programs that riders are telling us make them feel safer, we believe that's going to continue in the long run to help us build ridership.
Leslie,
Yeah.
I realize he's standing right next to you, but you've had an interim chief for more than a year now. When will Metro Transit have a permanent police chief?
We are working to get the position for that chief posted before the end of this month. That will be a process, but I anticipate early next year we will have a permanent chief.
Is there a reason for the amount of time, or is this what you expected?
The police chief role is such an essential role at Metro Transit. It's certainly something we don't want to rush into, and we believe our approach to getting ready to post this position and the recruitment effort will lead to a good outcome. So yeah, I'll hand it back to the chief to talk about those crime statistics. Another measurement we look at is we do an annual customer satisfaction survey, and some of the questions in there pertain directly to feelings of safety while riding and waiting. We're actually out doing that survey right now, so the latest data we have is about a year old. We did see an improvement in the perception of safety in 2024 compared to 2023, but we're eagerly awaiting the results from the survey out now to see are we continuing to build on that trend. But I'll hand it to the chief to talk about the data he referenced.
Sure. Yes.
This quarter, compared to last year, this quarter, yes, serious crime is down 21%. And one of the messages that I certainly try to tell when I'm out and about talking about crime on the system, serious crime on the Metro Transit system is very, very, very low. It's actually at historic low numbers, and it's decreasing. The proactive work that these officers behind me are doing over the last year, it is fantastic work. Those numbers are up 129%. And the reason that I talked about that is we can talk about serious crime stats all day long and give you all kinds of stats, but people need to feel safe on the system. Like, we understand the perception of safety and what the reality is going on the system. There's a disconnect there. So that's part of what today's event is try to work on that perception. We have a Facebook page that's up right now that's out there constantly telling the stories of these officers. We want to make sure that everybody knows that we care about the perception of safety, and we are working very hard as a united team to ensure that that perception gets better. We all care about the perception of safety, so we're certainly working on that, and know we have work still to do. So.
Chief, as everyone's detailed, a big part of the plan, or at least part of it, is the supplemental private security that are at different stations. Can you say what you're doing to hold them to the same standards that you hold your officers to?
Yeah, great question. So the question is about holding supplemental security to the same standard as the police officers. So there's a lot that goes into that. I'll say this, I've been in Metro Transit since 2004, and supplemental security on the system, it's working. Our officers and we want supplemental security out there. That other layer of presence, having official presence at somewhere like the Franklin Avenue station on a consistent period of time, it helps us. It allows our officers to deal with more serious crime and to respond to stuff. So that is super, super helpful. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. But we do need to make sure that we're holding all of our vendors throughout the Met Council accountable, and that includes supplemental security. We want our supplemental security staff to use de-escalation, just like our officers do it all the time, right? De-escalation, de-escalation, de-escalation. That's a priority. So we have a new vendor that's coming on board officially at the end of the month. So obviously working with that vendor, making sure that there's clear expectations of what Metro Transit expects, what the police department expects, but we want our security staff to be out there observing and reporting, using de-escalation, and the same thing that we're doing. I talk about us providing a service to the community, right? Policing as a service. We want supplemental security to be doing the same thing. There's more to policing this system and providing security in the system than just, arresting people and stuff like that. Like, providing a customer service approach is very important. So there's a lot that goes into that, but I'm confident with our new approach and how we're going to be managing the contract that we're going to be good results.
We've got time for one more.
Chief, with winter coming up, we have seen on our light rails and on our buses that there's a lot of the homeless population that comes onto these modes of transportation in the winter. Can you talk specifically about what the tactic is this winter and what that looks like?
One of the initiatives we launched this summer was the University Avenue Safe and Strong initiative, and what that initiative was about was a three-pronged approach, right? You had focused enforcement, you had connecting people to services, and then working with the city and county attorney on what that court process looks like. That model that we used this summer on University Avenue, that's our model throughout the system, right? We're going to be working with partners in Minneapolis in the 3rd Precinct to see what we can do around Franklin Avenue to bring that same type of model there. Our winter safety plan, very similar, right? We at the Transit Police do much more than just arrest and cite people. We have our homeless action team that is out there trying to connect people to services, right? We're working with our community's most vulnerable populations. We don't want to criminalize homelessness. That's not what we're trying to do. But our officers want and they connect with people to try to get them the help they need. It's a difficult thing to fully understand or respond to, but I can assure you this, our officers are out there every day working, being visible to try to connect people to services and work on long-term solutions, whether it be with the county, the city, but it's a big problem, and it's not just a Metro Transit problem.